On this, let's bring in Claire Nevill. She's the World Food Program Ethiopia Communications Head, and she joins us now live from Addis Ababa. Thank you for being with us on the program today, Claire. Now, there's a global food crisis, as we know, and it's just gotten worse since the war in Ukraine began. Walk us through how Ethiopia in particular has been affected.
Sure. Well, as you said, it's an unprecedented global food crisis that we're facing right now, and nowhere is hit as hard as the Horn of Africa, facing its fourth consecutive drought and looking likely to enter a fifth failed rainy season. So here in Ethiopia, hunger has taken its grip on over 20 million people who are suffering a catastrophic combination of conflict in the north of the country and those in the south who are affected by the drought. Over the last few months, food insecurity has skyrocketed in those communities affected by the drought, and we now estimate that around 9.8 million people are in need of food assistance and in urgent need of this grain about to be shipped from Ukraine to Ethiopia. That will go to meet the needs of over 20 million people here in Ethiopia who are in dire need of food assistance right now. So WFP in Ethiopia, we're looking to support around 11 million people with humanitarian food assistance and livelihood assistance as well, because as well as meeting those immediate food needs, WFP also delivers a portfolio of programs to lift people out of hunger in the longer term. But certainly right now, this shipment is urgently needed to meet those immediate needs of over 20 million people in the country.
Has the World Food Program been able to provide these services to people in the Tigray region particularly, because it has been ravaged by conflict in recent time, and we know that a lot of people there are on the grip of starvation?
Absolutely. So since the humanitarian truce was announced by the government at the end of March, WFP's convoys have been flowing into the region at pace and at scale. We've been able to meet the needs of over 1.5 million people since the start of April. And now we've been able to deliver all of the food that we need to for this next round of food assistance to meet the needs of 2.1 million people. However, deliveries of fuel are not keeping pace with the deliveries of the food. So to be able to meet the needs of over 5 million people in the Tigray region, we need uninterrupted flow of humanitarian supplies through 2 additional corridors. And we urgently need the fuel to enter the region as soon as possible. We just this week had over 500,000 litres that entered on 12 fuel tankers as part of our convoy. So this is really welcome news and means that we are able to get the food out into the hands of communities right away, the food that we've already delivered and that's waiting in the warehouses. But we must continue to deliver fuel at scale, and around 2 million litres are needed each month for humanitarian operations.
Just give us some insight into the day-to-day lives of people who are suffering from the lack of food, and how important and crucial it is for continued imports of wheat to come into the country, and for this deal between Ukraine and Russia to hold.
So the grain deal is a hugely positive development to get the humanitarian supplies to those who urgently need it, like right here in the Horn of Africa. And it's going to take time for supply chains to recover. And, you know, even our local food baskets have increased, the prices have increased by over 66% in the last year. So the rising inflation, the rising food prices, the interrupted supply chains, it's going to take time for these countries to recover. And right now in Ethiopia, we're entering the lean season. So people need this food assistance right now, and they can't wait for it any longer. We need timely and sustained food assistance. And so it's essential that this deal holds and that these shipments continue to come to the Horn of Africa.
All right, Claire Nevill, thank you so much for joining us here on the NewsHour. It was a pleasure speaking to you.